Hey guys, what's up? Scotch Duck here, once again. Right, I found something I want to talk about. Right, it's a game that came out 17 years ago. Yeah, we're talking about that. Because it recently got a HD remaster, which they might as well have not done because it still looks like it came out a million years ago. But it's still really, really good. So I want to come in front of the camera and talk about it. The game's Grim Fandango. Okay, now I know, alright? I know I'm not alone when it came to wanting to play that game, right? Because, like most of Tim Schafer's, who I'm a massive fan of, by the way, like most of his games that predated, like, Psychonauts, you couldn't play them. You buy the game and you need, like, what, Windows 95 or lower to actually play them? You know, Windows XP wouldn't run them, which was the operating system I tried to play it on, but couldn't because it was too new. And yeah, as a result, he's got so many point-and-click games that you just cannot play until now, because Grim Fandango has now got a HD re-release on PC, Vita, and PS4. I think that's all, at least for now, you know. And some more of his games are on the way, like Day of the Tentacle. I think that's gonna happen. I hope so, because again, I really want to play it. I've actually got right here. Full Throttle. Like, a friend of mine gave me this for my birthday, you know, just as a nice little thing to have, and I was really glad about it, you know. And he also introduced me to this software that you can apparently install to make your PC simulate being older or whatever. So I actually got to play a bit of this, and Grim Fandango for that matter. But with Grim Fandango especially, the fucking thing kept crashing all the time, or I would run into a problem, I would Google it, figure a way to get past the problem, get to another section of the game, and run into some other problem. It was a massive fucking hoop of fire after hoop of fire, you know, it was just not worth it. So when this HD remake got announced at E3, I was like, yes! Just because I wanted to play it, and everybody wants to play this game, like everybody. I mean, this game came out, like I said, 17 years ago, 1998, okay? Highly regarded as one of the best years in gaming, right? Why? Because that was the year Ocarina of Time, Metal Gear Solid, and Half-Life came out, amongst other things, like Banjo-Kazooie, I think that came out as well. And yeah, it's just highly regarded to being one of the best years. And Grim Fandango, right, before I even knew who Tim Schafer was, I heard about Grim Fandango as one of the reasons why 1998 was one of the best years in gaming. You know, it just didn't happen to come out that year and is stealing Ocarina of Time's thunder. No, it's one of the reasons why, because it was that good. So I'm just like hearing that and like, alright, let's go for it. And then of course I become a Tim Schafer fan, and now we've played the game. And how long are we into this video now and I'm just rambling? Let's talk about the game. So, one thing I really gotta say right off the bat, relatively negative thing. Actually, very negative thing. The only negative thing for that matter. Am I the only one that got a shitload of glitches here, right? I mean, I'm playing the game, and, like, items in my inventory are disappearing. You know, they're not, well, they're not going away. They're there, but they're invisible. Like, and not all the way visible. You'll see, like, bits of them. Like, he'll be holding it up, and he'll be holding it in his arm like this, but you can still see bits of it, and it's so weird. Or he's walking along the room and he suddenly, like, teleports, you know, or what happened to me quite frequently was he just, Manny, by the way, that's the main character, I'll talk about him in a bit. He would just get stuck. He would just, like, stop walking, you'd press X to actually examine something, he'd start walking to it, and you couldn't go out of it. That happened to me several times, and it was so frustrating, because it took me a while to adapt that, okay, I better save every other step, which thankfully, you can do whenever you want. So, it's not the biggest issue in the world, but for a game that's 17-year-old and now only getting a HD remake, to have this many bugs in it, okay, it's the fuck, you know, it was, the Assassin's Creed Unity'd it, okay? And I'm betting there'll be like a patch for this or something, or maybe I'm the only one who's actually getting these glitches, because I don't really see that many other people talking about them. But it did not affect my enjoyment of this game, okay? Because everything you can imagine from a Tim Schafer game is here, okay? It's funny, it's like just got loads of cleverness to it, and when you're done, you'll just never forget it. You know, that's how it was to me. You play as Manny Calavera, as I said before, who is dead. He lives in the land of the dead, and he has a job there trying to work off his time to pay off the sins that he committed in his past life by selling, being a travel agent to other people in the land of the dead. A travel agent that sends the customers off to, oh god, what was it called? To the afterlife, basically. There was a name for it, but I can't remember. And yeah, he sells everything from super fast trains to just walking sticks, depending on how good they were in their past life. If they were really bad, they got a walking stick. And you know, that right there, that's clever, you know, it's just hilarious when his first client is just a really terrible person, and all he's good for is a walking stick with a compass on the top, because he's not all the way bad, and yeah, then he's on his way. But Manny, I guess, has been really, really, really bad, and therefore he's not allowed to go directly to the afterlife, no matter how long it would take him, but he has to stay there and work off even more time. And we're never told why, you know, and I'm sort of like, I just can't wait to figure out. I won't say anything, but you know, that's an intriguing thing right there, especially when he's surrounded by all these other employees that are in the same boat as him, some of which are doing better than him, and it's just you've got this bizarre concept, everybody's dead, but they're trying to get to the afterlife. You know, it's interesting, and it's that sort of thing that you expect from Tim Schafer. And again, like I said, it's hilarious. One of the funniest moments for me was when Manny actually went to the land of the living to pick up customers, okay? I won't say what it's like. I don't think I could even describe what it was like, but he gets to the land of the living, and I guess you're seeing it through the dead's eyes, and it's this is how living people look like to dead people, as the game puts it, and I'm just looking at it and that's so fucking hilarious. Yeah, it was one of the highest moments, and you know, there's other bits as well, let me try and think of a good bit. I can't think of a good bit, but there's a lot of funny bits, I swear to God. Okay, yeah, there's a bit, probably my favourite part of the game, which is a little bit later on, is when Manny starts running a nightclub. And it gets to the point where, to advance, he has to leave town, but he can't leave town because his nightclub is so successful. So the only way he can actually leave town is to get his nightclub shut down, but it's doing so well that he can't. So he has to make his best friend relapse his gambling problem, who owns half the club, and then put the club out of business that way. That's some of the puzzles you have to solve in this game, and it's wonderful. You know, it's just... I love a game that makes me feel stupid. You know, it's see, I could never come up with that. That's how clever it is, right? I love a game that makes me feel stupid like that, right? But yeah, is there anything else to talk about? I guess I'll talk about the performance of it for a bit, because it's a HD remaster, so you sort of expect... I don't know what you would expect, really, but... I know Tim Schafer's went on record saying that when he started making Grim Fandango, he wasn't liking the way 3D gaming was starting out, because, you know, it was in its early days, everything looked kind of like origami figures, and that's what everything in this game looks like. It looks like origami. They've kind of did what they did with the Wind Waker HD, where they didn't do anything to the polygon count, but they made all the textures on the actual model sharper. And, you know, like some other HD remasters, like Monkey Island, which is also really good, you can click a button and you can switch between the original version and the remastered version. And there really isn't that much difference, honestly. The backgrounds are exactly the same and the character models just look a bit sharper. You know, there's really not much difference at all. You could take either and you would get the exact same experience, honestly. But naturally, you know, it's not really in its graphical performance where this game shines, you know. Music and voice acting is obviously really good too, you know. You kind of need good actors to nail some of this, spectacular writing that the game's got. But yeah, the music is really good. In fact, I was using Grim Fandango music in that first video that I did on Sunday there. Did any of you notice that? I don't think anybody did. But yeah, that was Grim Fandango music, because I was already playing it at that point and really, really loving it. But yeah, if Tim Schafer's got some more games coming out like this, you know, because I think he's allowed to do this now because it was like a couple of years at this point that LucasArts got shut down by Disney. They're the guys that did like all of the games based on Star Wars, Indiana Jones, as well as a bunch of Star Wars games, and of course all of, you know, just a generation of point-and-click games as well, like Monkey Island, which I just talked about. But yeah, they're gone, so I guess the rights eventually have went back to Tim Schafer, and he's allowed to republish his own game, which is brilliant, you know, it's really good. And yeah, I can't wait for Day of the Tentacle, and hopefully Full Throttle gets a HD remake as well, because I never beat this. I was really enjoying it, but then I got up to this bit where you're on a motorcycle and you're supposed to go over the little like lights on the road to do something. I don't know, I just remember getting annoyed, and I wasn't like that committed, unfortunately. But I would like to be, so work on Full Throttle. I want to be a leader of a biker gang again. So yeah, that's Grim Fandango. Did you guys play it? It's really worth it if you've got a Vita, PS4, or just get it on PC. It's really, really good. So yeah, that's that. See you after. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.